This is not how I imagined my first day.
Welcome to Pure Horror TV. With Resident Evil 2 the remake around the corner, I thought it'd be a perfect time to count down my top 5 favorite Resident Evil games. If you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. I post videos every week from horror stories to movie recommendations and everything horror related. If you don't know about Resident Evil started off as a survival horror game. It had some action and some elements of mystery, exploration, and puzzle solving, along with incredible storylines that were inspired by horror movies. It did start drifting into mainly action, but recently has gotten back into its horror roots.
Stay back, sir, I got this.
With all that being said, let's get right into this list.
Resident Evil.
Number 5. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. The first half of the game taking place before the events of Resident Evil 2, the second half 2 days later. I really enjoyed this game, bringing back Jill Valentine and introducing us to Carlos Oliveira as they try to escape Raccoon City, and also introduces us to Nemesis creature, which always scared me while playing this game. Nemesis constantly pursues you throughout the game, you just never know when he'll attack, which really makes you paranoid. Also love the music in this game. The only flaw I have with this game is the story. It's pretty basic and in my opinion not as strong as its predecessors. Nevertheless, this game is still in my top 5. Number 4. Resident Evil 4. Bringing back one of my favorite characters, Leon Kennedy, as a government agent who was sent to rescue the president's daughter. Resident Evil 4 had a mix between action and horror, which I didn't mind. I love the characters, the gameplay, and the overall story of this game. I replayed this game many times and also went on to win Game of the Year. However, it did change the Resident Evil mechanics, which I didn't mind except the last half of the game. It did feel like pure action instead of horror, and I felt invincible by the end of the game. Also, the music is great, but it isn't as iconic as the others in this list, which is why this is my number 4 pick. Number 3. Resident Evil 0. Let me start off by saying Resident Evil 0 does have its flaws. Primarily the mechanics, like switching between Billy and Rebecca, as well as picking up and dropping items, instead of having item boxes. Also, some of the enemies in the game can be annoying, but I still had a great time with this one. I feel like this game is underrated, fans really dislike this entry. For me, the pros outweigh the cons in this game. The graphics and pre-rendered backgrounds in the game are probably one of the best. I enjoy some of the boss battles and really love the chemistry between the characters. I also found myself always scared throughout this game, mainly running into the Leech Man. It was like running into Nemesis from Resident Evil 3. You just never know when he'll show up. For me, this game also felt very similar to Resident Evil the remake, which came out the same year. Which brings me to the next game in this list. Number 2. Resident Evil the remake. Although the original Resident Evil was a great game, but didn't really age well. The remake fixed all the problems from the original, made it better. The graphics, the gameplay mechanics, the voice acting and dialogue were all improved. There was also added areas and an added subplot to this game. Music's also some of the best in the series. It also features my favorite character of the Resident Evil series, Chris Redfield. And finally, my number 1 pick, Resident Evil 2. In my opinion, this entry has the best story in the series. Capcom did want to go with a more Hollywood-like story, and they succeeded. They even got George Romero to direct the trailer for this one. In the game, we are introduced to rookie police officer Leon Kennedy on his first day as a police officer, and college student Claire Redfield, who is searching for her missing brother Chris. I loved everything about this game. The music is iconic, the gameplay is fantastic. I love the atmosphere and the setting, it's all brilliant. and the pre-rendered backgrounds are improved from the first game. There's a whole lot to love from this game, which is why it's my number one pick. I'm really excited for the remake. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. For more horror related videos like this, subscribe to Pure Horror TV. Until next time.